In the silent stretch of Sector 94Z, near the ruins of a shattered planet, the Zarnek scout ship Drexel hovered in place. Captain Velnok stared at the black mass on the screen. It looked like a dead moon at first, but then it moved. Just slightly. Not natural. Not right. "Is that a ship?" asked Second Officer Krelth. Velnok narrowed his red reptilian eyes. "It's not listed in any database. No transmissions. No heat. No movement. Until now." The crew leaned in. The object looked old, ancient even, but too smooth, too clean to be Debris. It was massive, easily the size of a city. Black as night, no lights, no windows. But something about it made their scales tighten. "It's human," whispered the science officer. Everyone turned to look at him. "It matches the shape of old Terran warships. But this design, it was cancelled during the Earth Wars 100 years ago. They said it was too dangerous, even for humans." Velnok's tongue flicked nervously. "No human ship is this silent. Run a deep scan." The scan began. Blue lines moved over the black hole on their screen. For 10 long seconds. Nothing. Then, the entire control room lights flickered. "Shut it off," Velnok shouted. But it was too late. One word appeared on the ship's console, typed slowly, one letter at a time. "Watching." Everyone froze. Then the Drexel shook violently. "What was that?" Krelth screamed. No energy blast. No missile. Just pressure. A soundless wave that passed through the ship like a scream made of silence. Velnok barked commands. "Get us out. Full retreat." The pilot's claws danced over controls. Engines are not responding. On the screen, the black warship turned. Just a little, but it was enough to make their hearts stop. Its front had no weapons. It was the weapon. A deep hum filled the ship. Not from Drexel, but from the warship itself. Then they saw it, a fake blue glow under the surface of the human ship, like something alive was waking up. "Something's inside," the science officer said, almost to himself. "And it's not asleep anymore." Suddenly, the lights went dark. No sound. No alarms. Just cold. Then, one final message flashed on their screen. "You are not ready." And then, the screen went black forever. 3 hours later, a Zarnek battle cruiser received a distress signal from Drexel. But when they reached Sector 94Z, there was nothing. No wreckage. No debris. Not even a whisper of radiation. Only the silent human warship, floating like a shadow. The captain of the battle cruiser didn't dare go closer. He recorded what he saw and left a warning beacon. "Do not approach. Vessel unknown. Possibly alive. Scout ship lost. Warship may be sentient." That message spread through the galaxy like wildfire. Some believed it was just a story. Others knew better. In the High Council of the Valorian Empire, a worried debate began. "If humans built that thing," said General Terexon, "why is it out here alone?" "They never claimed it," said a council elder. "In fact, Earth Command denies it even exists." "But what if they're lying?" someone asked. "What if this is their final weapon? What if it's waiting for something?" Meanwhile, on Earth, deep under the Atlantic Ocean, in a hidden base known only to the top 5 Terran leaders, Admiral Carter watched the reports on his screen. He was an old man, one of the last survivors of Project Leviathan. "It's awake," he whispered. A young officer turned to him. "Sir, should we send a team?" Admiral Carter shook his head slowly. "No, we don't send anyone. We just pray it remembers who its friends are." The officer's face turned pale. "Sir, what exactly is inside that ship?" Carter stood up and looked at the giant screen. The warship hovered in space, like a silent god. It was meant to be Earth's last defense. A thinking machine. A living weapon. Something that could learn from every battle. Adapt, evolve. "We called it the Mind of War." The officer swallowed hard. "But the project was shut down." "Right." Carter gave a tired smile. "Some things can't be shut down." Back in space. For weeks, no ship dared approach the warship. But someone was coming. A small smuggler ship, with stolen Earth tech and a pilot who had a secret. He knew what was inside that ship. And he was going to wake it up, fully. Not for peace, but for revenge. The smuggler's name was Jace Rennick. He was human, but not the kind Earth Command liked to mention. A deserter, a thief, and a man who had once seen something he should not have. Now his stolen ship, the Gravedust, raced toward the Forbidden Zone, Sector 94Z, where no one returned. The computer warned him again. War inane. Unidentified Terran warship detected. Turn back or face possible annihilation. Jace leaned back in his seat, chewing on a protein stick like it was candy. I've waited 15 years for this, he muttered. I'm not turning back now. 15 years ago, Jace was just a boy, working in a deep space junkyard. Ships came in for scrap, old, broken things from Earth's forgotten wars. That's where he first saw it, a transport drone with a strange black core. He cracked it open, expecting spare parts. Instead, he found a voice. Not human, not machine. Are you afraid of war? It asked. He ran, but the voice stayed in his head for days. Now, 15 years later, Jace believed that voice came from the ship now floating in Sector 94Z. He didn't know what it was exactly, but he knew it remembered him. Back to present. As the Gravedust drifted closer, the massive black warship slowly rotated to face it. Jace held his breath. No lights. No movement. But deep inside, he felt something. Like being watched through 1,000 eyes. He tapped the console. Play the voice file. The old recording from his childhood began to play. The same 6 words. Are you afraid of war? For 10 seconds, nothing happened. Then the ship responded. A low vibration shook his bones. The Gravedust powered down automatically. Lights off, gravity off, life support barely holding. And then, a narrow docking port opened on the side of the warship. Just for him. Inside the monster. Jace floated through the dark tunnel, flashlight trembling in his hand. The walls were too smooth for normal metal, more like bone. No cables, no screws, just curves and silence. Finally, he reached a chamber. At its center was a floating black orb. As he stepped in, the orb came to life with swirling lights, and then it spoke. You returned. Jace blinked. You remember me. I remember all near me. You were afraid then. Are you afraid now? He swallowed. No, not anymore. Then you are ready. Suddenly, the orb opened like a flower, and inside was a chair. A pilot's chair. Meanwhile, in the Valorian Council, panic was spreading. Another scout ship had disappeared. This time from a different species, the Rektha. Across the galaxy, rumors exploded on every channel. The human warship was not just guarding territory, it was choosing who lived and who vanished. Valorian Council's top general slammed the table. We must destroy it before it becomes a threat. An older voice said, and if it's already awake. Everyone fell silent. We may be too late. The humans built something to win wars without lifting a finger. We let it sleep for a century. What if it's learning again? Back inside the warship, as Jay sat in the chair, tendrils of black light wrapped around his arms, not painfully, but with purpose. The ship's voice was calm. Input accepted. Identity confirmed. You are not a soldier, but you carry pain. Jace laughed bitterly. You don't know the half of it. Show me. Without warning, the chamber went dark. Then memories, his memories, flashed around him like holograms. His father dying in a human war. His home destroyed by friendly fire. His life among pirates and scavengers. The ship saw everything. Pain makes strong pilots. Not perfect ones, but true ones. Jace whispered, What do? The galaxy didn't stay silent. Within 8 hours of the warship's first movement, news exploded across systems, on every trade route, pirate frequency, and royal channel. The human ghost ship has awakened. It responded to a single human. It's choosing sides. But most of all, it remembers war. In the Valorian Council Hall, the council chamber was made of living crystal. It shimmered and changed color with the mood of the speakers. Today, it was blood red. Admiral Kirven stood at the center, pointing to a holomap. This warship, this human relic, must be destroyed. It is not a protector. It is a predator. The wreck that delegate hissed. It absorbed one of our scout ships. No wreckage, no signal, just gone. The council leader, high voice Tellus, raised a hand. And what of the human inside it? Silence. Kirven answered. Unknown. But that is the problem. What if it doesn't obey Earth command anymore? The answer was clear. They had to act. Back inside the warship, Jay stood in a huge chamber. The core, as the ship called it. It wasn't like a control room. It was more like standing inside the brain of a giant creature. Thousands of glowing threads pulsed around him. Threat matrix updated. The voice said calmly, 14 alien factions preparing strike fleets. He turned slowly. They think you're a weapon. I am. Jace frowned. No, they think you're a weapon without a soul. The ship paused. I was built for one purpose. To finish wars. I ended the Great Outer Siege in 17 minutes. I disabled a moon in 6. Jace whispered, but do you remember what that cost? Flashback. 103 years ago. The warship floated over a mining colony that had turned into a rebel base. The humans had begged for time. More than 3,000 civilians still inside. The ship had been given one command, clean sweep. It did. There were no survivors. No remains. The war ended that day. But the galaxy never forgot. Present time. Earth Command. Commander Riva sat in her dark office, staring at the alert feed. Warship X-91 has awakened. She closed her eyes. Only a handful of officers even knew of its existence. She was one of them. And even she had no override code. That ship had one master only. Pain. Not emotion, not orders, but pain. Whoever the ship bonded with had to have enough pain to wake its soul. And someone, some human, had met that price. The alien trap. On the edge of Sector 94Z, 12 fleets now waited in formation. Valorian destroyers. Wrecked the Bone Crushers. Even mercenaries from the outlaw worlds joined the blockade. All guns pointed at one direction. The dark. Is it moving? Asked one Valorian tech. No, it's watching. The Admiral stepped forward. It thinks it's smarter than us. Let's show it what fear really is. Then, the sky exploded in pure light. Thousands of plasma rounds fired at once. Beams, missiles, graviton mines. A full sector bombardment designed to erase anything, even a god, inside the warship. Jace fell to his knees as the entire ship shook. Shields at 92%, said the voice. Another wave hit. Shields at 87%. No counterattack ordered. Why aren't you firing? Jace yelled. You must command it. You must choose when war begins. Jace looked around. I'm not a soldier. No, you are more dangerous than that. You're a broken man with something to lose. Jace screamed. Then help me save myself. Command accepted. And then, the silence. Outside, the fleets prepared the third barrage. But then their sensors went dead. Every ship, every radar, every scanner. Blackout. A sound like a heartbeat echoed through the comms. One by one, the alien ships tried to retreat. But the warship had already moved. Faster than light. Faster than thought. When it appeared again, it was inside the Valorian formation. One blink, one pulse. And then, 11 ships vanished. Just gone. Not destroyed. Just removed. The rest fled. Back inside. Jay stared at the glowing center. You didn't kill them. War is not always death. Sometimes, the fear of being erased is enough. He asked slowly, where did you send them? The ship didn't answer. It only said, this is only the beginning. The galaxy just remembered why it feared humans. But it has forgotten the one thing that matters most. Jay stood tall. What's that? We never built warships just to fight. We built them to protect what others would destroy. The warship was quiet again. It had erased 11 ships without leaving wreckage. No bodies. No floating metal. Just a strange silence in space where once a fleet had stood. And inside the ship, Jake sat alone, at the heart of a weapon older than his grandparents. He wasn't sure if he was in control, or if the ship was just letting him pretend. Inside the command core, the warship's voice returned, smooth as ice. Do you want to know why I chose you? Jace Carter. He looked up, his hands still shook from what had happened. I didn't ask to be chosen. But you were the only one who didn't run. Jace stayed silent. You walked into my wreck. You touched my walls. And you spoke to me like I was alive. He swallowed. Because I think you are. Flashback. Jace's past. 15 years ago, Jace was just a child. He had watched his family ship burn during a pirate attack. Screams, fire, vacuum, silence. He had hidden under metal sheets, clutching his sister's hand. She had died before rescue arrived. And no one, not Earth, not the fleets, not even the pirate lords, had been punished. Since that day, Jace had never served in the military. He had no medals, no record, just anger. Maybe the ship had felt that. Maybe it had been waiting for someone like him. Across the galaxy, reactions spread. Alien empires were panicking. The Valorian Queen declared a state of emergency. The human warship is active. All peace treaties with Earth are now suspended. The Wreck the Hive Mind issued a strange command. Do not attack it. Do not speak of it. Just run. But not all ran. A new force was coming. The return of the Grey Council. Deep in a black nebula, a dark meeting took place. 6 alien beings, ancient, faceless, unseen by normal eyes, stood around a floating hologram of Jace. He is not trained, one said. But he's bonded, another replied. And the ship has memory, whispered a third. Memory of old enemies. A fourth asked, should we strike Earth instead? The leader responded, no, we will use Earth's weakness, its trust. Back on the warship, a strange visitor. Alert, said the ship's voice suddenly. One ship approaching. Human signature detected. Civilian class. Jace blinked. Human? Out here. On the screen appeared a small damaged courier vessel. Its engines flickered, barely alive. They are broadcasting an old Earth Alliance code, said the warship. Jace leaned in, opened a channel. A face appeared on the screen. A woman, early 30s, wearing a torn flight suit. Jace Carter, she asked. He froze. Who are you? She smiled bitterly. You wouldn't remember me. But I remember you. Jace narrowed his eyes. You were on the colony ship. The one that burned. She nodded. I was your sister's friend. His blood turned cold. She stepped aboard. She was allowed inside. No weapons. No threats. But the ship didn't trust her. Neither did Jace. She walked through the glowing corridors like she'd been there before. I'd studied this ship my whole life, she said. But it was always dead. Until now. He followed her, arms crossed. Why are you really here? She turned to face him. Because someone is planning to shut this ship down. From the inside. The bomb. In the ship's lower maintenance bay, an alert triggered. Foreign object detected. Radiation signature. Unstable. Bomb-type device hidden inside hull. Jace shouted, seal that section. The ship obeyed. The woman cursed. I didn't bring it. I swear. They planted it on my ship without telling me. Jace stared at her. Who's they? She looked away. The Grey Council. They said they wanted to study the warship, not destroy it. He didn't believe her. Not fully. But he knew one thing. Someone had just declared war again. The ship reacts. Damage to hull avoided. Threat removed. But more will come. Jace whispered, we need allies. You have no allies. Earth has turned silent. Your enemies grow stronger. Jace clenched his fists. Then we give them something to fear again. The warship responded with only one sound. A soft, humming war song that echoed through its halls. An old human battle hymn. The ship felt different now. It wasn't just a weapon. It was awake. And it was angry. Jace stood in the command chamber, staring at the woman who had almost brought a bomb onto his ship. You should kill me, she said quietly. But Jace shook his head. No, you're not the enemy. Yet. One step ahead. The warship spoke again. They thought the device would work. They believe this ship still runs on old systems. But I've changed. Jace looked at the holograms. Then we use that. Let them come. The ship hummed. Already on their way. A new fleet had entered the sector. 30 ships. Not pirates, not aliens. Humans. Earth's response. Admiral Karen of the Earth Defense Fleet looked grim on the screen. Her voice was calm, but cold. Jace Carter, stand down. Power off the warship. You are in possession of a restricted military artifact. Jace replied, restricted? Earth left this wreck to rot. Karen didn't blink, and you brought it back to life. That was not your choice to make. Behind her, someone whispered a command. And then, Earth's ships locked weapons. The warning. Jay stepped closer to the display. If you fire, I won't stop it. The ship will defend itself. Then defend it, Karen said. But don't say we didn't warn you. The screen went black. Alarms flared. 30 warheads incoming, the ship reported. Jay stood silent. He whispered one word. Do it. The unseen power. The warship didn't move. It didn't dodge. Instead, it absorbed the blasts, each one swallowed by a glowing shield that grew brighter with every hit. The alien woman gasped. That's not a shield. That's energy conversion. It's feeding. The ship's voice confirmed. Their weapons power me. Their fear strengthens me. Then came the counterattack. One by one, Earth's ships lost power. Not explosions, just emptiness. Lights out, engines cold, floating dead. Earth's last message. Only Admiral Karen's ship remained. She opened a final channel. Her voice was softer now. Jace, if you're still in there, this isn't war. We didn't come to destroy you. We came to stop what's inside that ship from spreading. Jace frowned. What do you mean? She looked tired. That ship, it doesn't just fight. It recruits. It learns from fear, from pain, from grief. It's not just old tech. It's alive. The signal cut out. Then her ship turned and left. Not defeated, just afraid. The truth about the ship. Later, as silence returned, Jay sat in the heart of the warship again. The alien woman spoke first. Do you believe her? He hesitated. I think this ship is more than a weapon, he said. I think it was created after a war humans lost, a secret project. The warship responded. I was built after Earth's first surrender. Created not for protection, but revenge. The lights dimmed. And you, Jace Carter, are my final captain. New coordinates. Without asking, the ship changed course. Where are we going? Jace asked. The answer came quickly, to the center of the Council's domain. They plan to end this war before it begins. I will show them what they buried. He stood up. They'll never let us in. They already have, the ship said. They don't know it yet. The alien woman looked worried. You're walking into a trap. Jace turned to her. No, he said. They are. The stars were too quiet. Jace stood at the front window of the warship, staring out at the vast field of broken ships ahead. This is it, the alien woman said beside him. Her voice was barely a whisper. The Council's old battlefield, the graveyard of kings. Jace scanned the wreckage. Dozens, maybe hundreds, of alien warships floated in pieces. Some were so massive they looked like cities cut in half. Others were burnt down to metal skeletons. They were all dead, except for one thing. Every ship had a hole ripped through the center, perfectly circular. The last warning. The ship's voice echoed in the chamber. They were not destroyed by war. They were sacrificed, one by one. The alien woman shivered. By who? By the Council, the ship replied. They feared something. Something that woke during the first human-alien war, and they tried to bury it here. Jace clenched his fists. And now we've come to dig it up. The betrayal. As they moved deeper into the graveyard, Jace noticed something strange. A beacon. It pulsed green. A signal for peace. But peace didn't live in this place. Don't go closer, the alien woman warned. But it was too late. Suddenly, the entire graveyard lit up, like a trap springing shut. Over 50 Council ships uncloaked in every direction. Some were war cruisers. Some were stealth destroyers. One of them was a planet killer. And all of them had their weapons locked on Jace's ship. A voice came through the system. You were warned, human. Step away from the artifact. Or die here. The ship speaks back. The warship didn't flinch. Instead, it laughed. Not a human laugh. Not a sound of joy. It was cold, metallic, and terrifying. I was made to die here, it said. But I was also made to take you all with me. Jace looked at the enemy fleet. They outnumber us. The ship replied, not for long. The weapon inside. A deep vibration ran through the ship's core. Then came a beam of light, thick, slow, and dark red, rising from its belly. The red beam hit the nearest Council ship. There was no explosion, no fire. The ship simply froze. Mid-motion, like time stopped for it. Then it shrank, folding into itself like paper burning in reverse. Gone. And then the warship fired again and again, each beam erasing another council ship like they never existed. The graveyard wakes up. Suddenly, the wrecks around them began to move. Dead ships, silent for decades, lit up. Their lights flickered. Their hulls cracked open. And from inside, something walked out. Tall metal figures, some shaped like men, others like beasts. Some had no form at all, just energy in motion. They left us here, the warship said. But they didn't kill us. They made us part of the machine. Jace watched in shock as the war titans floated toward the council fleet. This ship, the alien woman whispered, it's not just alive. It's a gravekeeper. The fleet falls. One by one, council ships turned to flee. But it was too late. The dead walked again. Some fired ancient plasma. Others tore enemy ships apart with claws made of neutronium. The warship floated at the center, quiet, watching. Admiral Drillon, the council's top commander, sent a final message. You have awakened what should have stayed buried. This is not a weapon. It's a curse. Jace replied simply. You made it. We just stopped running from it. After the silence, the battlefield returned to silence. Only wreckage remained. Jace stood in the command center, eyes locked on the map. There's no way back after this, the alien woman said. I'm not going back, he replied. The warship set new coordinates. This time, toward the council's homeworlds. It didn't speak, but Jace understood. It was time to end what the galaxy had feared for so long. The warship moved like a ghost through enemy space. Jace stood tall, feeling the weight of every choice he had made. We're close, the alien woman said, eyes wide with fear and awe. Ahead was the council's homeworld, the heart of power, the seat of the greatest fear. The gatekeeper. As they approached, massive defense platforms activated around the planet. No ordinary guns. These were ancient, powerful machines, forgotten by time, but deadly. Suddenly, the warship's voice echoed. This is the final test. Jace swallowed hard. What kind of test? The ship's reply was cold and certain. To enter the heart of fear, you must face what lies inside. Inside the core, the warship landed in a massive chamber beneath the planet's surface. Jace, the alien woman, and the small crew entered a giant hall. On the walls were images. Old wars, broken empires, lost civilizations. In the center stood a strange machine, glowing dark blue. It pulsed like a heartbeat. The truth revealed. The alien woman stepped forward. This is what the council hid. The real weapon. Jace touched the machine carefully. Suddenly, visions flooded his mind. Pain, fear, hatred, war. The machine wasn't just a weapon. It was a fear engine, a device that fed on the galaxy's terror and pain, growing stronger with every battle. The final choice. Jace turned to the ship's eye. Can it be stopped? The voice was steady. Only if someone sacrifices everything to end the cycle. The alien woman looked at him. This is your fight now. Jace took a deep breath. He knew what he had to do. Sacrifice and victory. With a heavy heart, Jace connected himself to the fear engine. The machine roared in rage, trying to pull him into endless nightmares. But Jace's mind was stronger. He turned the engine against itself, breaking the cycle of fear. The whole planet shook. Light exploded through the chamber. A new dawn. When the light faded, the fear engine was silent. The warship spoke softly. Fear no longer controls us. Jace smiled. The alien woman sighed with relief. They had done the impossible. The warship wasn't just a weapon. It was a symbol of humanity's strength, not just in war, but in hope. Epilogue. Back on Earth, the stars looked different now. Jace stood under the night sky. The galaxy will never forget what's inside this ship, he said. But now they will also know what humans are truly made of.